I'm giving away $10,000 to anyone that can find me one globe proof. That's right, you heard correctly. $10,000 to anyone that can find me one globe proof. An example of that would be water curving, or proving that the earth is rotating and not the stars. Anyone that can find me one globe proof, just drop it in the comments and the 10,000 US dollars is yours.
So I never really thought about this. But do y'all remember this? Watch this. 2, 1. That was on an Apollo mission back to Earth. This Apollo guy named Nimrod / Apollo, that's on the back of your $1 bill on the pyramid that spells out Mason. Anyways, the first Freemason. That guy Nimrod, Apollo returns back to Earth, the son of perdition, returning back to Earth.
For whatever reason, 3 nights in a row, when the sun was setting, usually it goes behind a large veil of clouds, but for whatever reason, it was bright red. And then I noticed over here on Richie from Boston on Facebook that other people were posting the same thing. Well, one of my subscribers sent this the other day. What do you see there, ladies and gentlemen? You see anything strange? You see that sun right there? Yeah, that's weird. That's queer. That's not normal. And here's another picture. And these are the raw pictures. Do you see that right there? Do you see that? That seems like something I told you about a long time ago. And then here you go. Here's the sun setting. And then what's this happy little fella? This is below the clouds, it appears. And that's the sun setting. They're going to do everything all at one time, and it's all happening right now.
Hi everyone, I received a lot of questions about my video with the plane flying behind the sun. I noticed that the additional explanation was necessary to clarify this issue. First of all, watching the video, we clearly see that the plane is moving behind the sun, leaving a trail of smoke. Now, some of you said that it may be an optical illusion. Well, in this case, there is no optical illusion because if you look closely, the smoke left by the plane is clearly moving, and it is moving behind the sun. Some of you claimed that the plane and the smoke trail are in front of the sun, but we can't see it because the sunlight is too strong. In this case, I present to you another video. I recorded this during the solar eclipse. Here a plane flew in front of the sun and left a trail of smoke. It is crystal clear that the plane and the trail of smoke are in front of the sun. In this case, the plane or the trail of smoke did not disappear. For sure not because of the supposed very strong sunshine or sunlight. I use solar filter and Nikon P1000 for my videos. The question you all asked was, how is this possible plane behind the sun? The answer is something is wrong with the theory you have been taught all your life. Now it is time to face the reality. The sun is not 93 million miles or 149 million kilometers away from Earth as claimed. The sun is a local source of energy and it is way too smaller than you were taught.
Have you guys heard about the 7.5-foot sword that was discovered in Japan? And when they discovered this sword, they said it had been in the ground for over 1,000 years, and they could tell by the rust on the sword because it had been underground for so long. Now, this is just one of many places that has been discovering very large swords like this. There also was one discovered in Turkey and one discovered at the bottom of a river in Poland when they were dredging. Now, this is just more and more biblical proof. The Bible talked about giants in many chapters of the Bible. The Bible says that anything that is hidden will be brought into the light. There is so much evidence proving every account, every historical event that the Bible discusses. And this is just one of many things that has been proven in recent times. Hallelujah.
NASA finds cotton candy planets. You think I'm joking? From NASA.gov, cotton candy planet mysteries unravel in new Hubble observations. Super Puffs may sound like a new breakfast cereal, but it's actually the nickname for a unique and rare class of young exoplanets that have density of cotton candy. Look, at least they told the truth right here on the last sentence. They said, nothing like them exists in our solar system. And here we go, real Hubble images of these cotton candy planets. Look, they make sure to put little old Earth right there to show us that we're so insignificant. Really? Cotton candy planets. What's next? Unicorn nebulas? No, but for real, they're probably going to tell us that we traveled to the cotton candy planets and we found unicorns walking around on the cotton candy surface. They just love playing games with your imagination. This is the best thing I have heard since.
Scientists say Uranus, as in the planet, smells like rotten eggs.
And how do they know it has the consistency of cotton candy? Do they have satellites with arms and fingers and they go up there and go, oh, it's cotton candy? Or are they just selling you dreams with this like they did with this? Don't you remember when they were like, we found northern lights on Jupiter, but they used the same picture of Jupiter from 2 years before? We gotta stop letting NASA feed us these cotton candy fantasies.
So I am appalled at how many people do not understand what constitutes a fact, right, in the realm of science. Okay. Well, let me clue you in. The only way to prove that something is a fact, or something that you would like create a system of life, base your financial, government, whatever system on, is using the scientific method. That is the only way to prove a fact. I mean, you can have theories, you can have scientific theories, etc., but those obviously would never supersede any laws of physics, thermodynamics, etc., unless they were proven factual through scientific experiments, more specifically, this scientific method. Now, this is Michio Kaku, right? The theoretical scientist, right? Author, he's on, Ancient Aliens, he's on all this stuff. He's a top astrophysicist. And he had an interesting quote, right? And in the quote, he actually says, nobody that I know of in my field uses the so-called scientific method. What the f*** did you just say, Mr. Michio? Dr. Kaku? Interesting, right? Because, first thing come to mind, all right, so that is pseudoscience. Well, then, what's the definition of pseudoscience? There's no way it can be exactly that. A collection of beliefs or practices mistakenly regarded as being based on the scientific method. I mean, come on, dude. It's coming from the horse's mouth. Now, I know you're going to get a lot of bot comments. They're going to be like, this is a fake quote. This isn't even real. Well, let's hear it from Michio himself.
You always say that you make observations, you have a theory, you go make more observations, and it's a very, very tedious process. Wrong. Nobody that I know of in my field uses the so-called scientific method.
Captured real satellite, and guess what? Not in space. Yes, you're right, it was floating up in the sky on the helium balloon. Space satellites doesn't exist. Let's zoom in once more. Have you noticed that camera scanning the flat Earth? And zoom in again to make sure I don't dream. Yes, definitely satellite, not in fake space. We live on flat, non-rotating Earth.
Do you guys want to see a magic trick? Someone from one of the international space programs just pulled something out of thin air and broadcasted it live. How could she possibly do that? It's not like we have augmented VR technology. You know, with the headsets that you put on, or perhaps even contacts, to where you can see something in virtual reality that's not actually there in physical reality, so that you can interact with it in space and time. I mean, that's just a silly conspiracy theory. It's not like we have this patented technology, and there is no possible way that someone in one of the space agencies would be deceiving us with this technology. There's just no way. They wouldn't do it. They're too honest. Looks like his little VR bodysuit's glitching out. Ruh-roh. I mean, it's not like we have green screens, you know, when we make superhero movies and stuff like that. And we're making all this stuff happen. Thanos is a real guy, right? He's not part of this augmented VR technology. You know, Iron Man flying around, he's actually flying. It's not like he's in front of a green screen. I mean, Hollywood just doesn't have this technology. So this guy's just grabbing something out of thin air. He's actually so intellectual that he detected an interdimensional space worm and he grabbed it and crushed it with his bare hands and saved him and his friend's life simultaneously. That's what he's doing.
When you are married to a globe-tard.
I just don't know how I'm supposed to fix this.
Look at me. You don't need that negativity in your life. Okay, and I know exactly how you feel. Okay, when Luke lost Obi-Wan in the midpoint of the film, he didn't know what he was going to do next. But you're in a similar position as he is. Okay, the galaxy needs you, so to speak. And you still got your Han Solo, you know? I think that the Force has you exactly where you're supposed to be. You're in your cockpit. There's nothing between you and destroying the Death Star. Okay, Darth Vader, he's been sent off into outer space. And Han Solo, he showed back up again. He's got the Millennium Falcon. And he's cleared the way and he says, "You're all clear, kid. Now let's blow this thing and go home." And all you gotta do is just trust yourself. Trust the Force. So what do you say?
I think I'm gonna call my sister.
Yeah.
If they can convince you that you're hurtling through space, that the Earth is spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, and you don't even feel it, then they can convince you of anything. I've been doing this since 2014. It's not my message. We're just trying to get out Yahweh's message, right? So we're just the messengers. And tell me your story in the comments. When did you become a flat earther? Or how many flat earthers do you know? Or were you a flat earther to begin with? Tell me your story if you can. I would love to hear about it and share it if I could.
So I made a posting about this the other day that said, things people believe, but they can't prove. And it's going nowhere. Come to find out, TikTok has silenced it. So we're going to try it again. With my big old head in the way. Entertainment purposes only, TikTok. And for those of you that get your feathers ruffled easy when you go through this list, oh well. Space. You can't prove it. The only thing that's been to space is your imagination. Dark matter. You can't prove that either. Black holes. You can't prove that. Gravity is just mass, weight, buoyancy, density, electrostatics, and magnetism. Things fall to the ground because they're heavier than the air. The medium is the air. The spin of the Earth, you can't prove it. The Earth's elliptical orbit, you can't prove that either. Earth is zipping through the universe. You can't prove that. Dinosaurs, it's all fake to push evolution. Evolution is fake. And the Big Bang. None of that you can prove. There's all pseudoscience. That is all hogwash. If someone has to tell you and show you a picture and that is their proof, a cartoon, that is not reality. That's called an ideology that they want you to believe. They have been pushing this ideology since the 1900s. And they erased books, rewrote them, and then they gave them to you ready-made. Okay? And a perfect example of all of that is encyclopedias. They rewrite them every year. They tell you what they want you to know. They tell you what they want you to believe, and then they brainwash you with the movies and the music and the commercials and politics. It's all the same. The only thing that's been to space is your imagination. They lie about everything. And TikTok, whether you agree with what I'm saying or not, it doesn't matter. Because we have freedom of speech. Okay? And I know I'm going against the mainstream narrative, but that's okay. Because it's okay to admit when you've been lied to. And it's okay not to believe everything that you were sold to be true. That is real. Because it's not. If I show you a picture of the tooth fairy, does that mean the tooth fairy is real? No, it does not.
So check this out, guys. This is the Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird, and its top speed is 2,200 miles an hour. Also, the SR-71 can fly at altitudes above 80,000 feet. Let's just think about it for a minute. If the Lockheed can go over 2,000 miles an hour, how much curvature should it account for to stay at the same altitude? So again, its top speed, 2,200 miles an hour, and let's just say there's 2,200 miles between point A and point B. That means that there will be 570 miles of curvature drop between the 2 points of reference. That means the Lockheed will be dipping 9.5 miles per minute, or 836 feet per second. Did y'all catch the last part? 836 feet per second. But let's just see what NASA has to think about planes flying over the Earth. This is NASA's document 1207, called Derivation and Definition of a Linear Aircraft Model. Summary: this report documents the derivation and definition of a linear aircraft model for a rigid aircraft of constant mass flying over a flat, non-rotating Earth. Wait, what? Flying over a flat, non-rotating Earth, as well as a helicopter, a mathematical model of the CH-53 helicopter. The helicopter equations of motion are given in body axis with respect to a flat, non-rotating Earth. Only one problem with that. Why would they assume any planet, let alone Earth, to be flat and non-rotating? Think about it. And they tell us we live on this ball, spinning, processing through space.
It came in the mail and y'all are opening it with me. Ooh. Smell it. Woo! Here we go.
The Flat Earth map dates back over 1,000 years. This map is credited to being created by a Persian astronomer. His name was Al-Biruni, and he lived between 973 AD to 1048 AD. It's the official map of the United Nations and also the United States Geological Survey. It used to be present in many places before the creation of NASA and the Antarctic Treaty in 1959. Here you see it with Admiral Byrd. This map has been restored by Dmitry from Russia with suggestions of mine, Eddie Alenkar. Known by my YouTube channel Flat Earth Banjo, I asked Dmitry to include the Bermuda Triangle and Point Nemo, a place deep in the Pacific where NASA buries rockets. Then Robert Tozzi, a professional mapmaker, came along and enhanced the map even more. There are many people now selling this map online, but if you could order it from my online store, I would greatly appreciate it. Visit my online store now and order one of the items. I humbly thank you.